Hey everyone, you're watching Anime Jackson, and in this video today I'm talking about what exactly is a weeaboo. Okay, so we all know that a weeaboo is, well, to put it nicely, a little bit different than the average anime fan, as they can be considered a bit weird, even amongst the anime community. But what exactly is a weeaboo? Well, weeaboos are what I would call a variation of an extreme anime fan. With that, they use anime to learn about Japanese culture, but more precisely, they use it to teach themselves Japanese. As because of all the anime that they've watched, they tend to get this fascination with Japanese culture and Japanese things. Now, this enjoyment in Japanese culture gets to a point that they actually end up enjoying Japanese culture and the language and anything Japan related more than their own culture, whether that be like Western culture, like American stuff, or okay, I know here in Australia we're still Westerners, but some Australian things, and they just tend to dissociate themselves from their culture, their home, their everything for Japan. Now, considering that there's a pretty good portion of the international anime community that watches anime in sub, so Japanese audio, with their first language being written out to tell us what the characters are saying, so we have an idea as to what's going on. It's not unreasonable for any anime fan to pick up a few Japanese words. That's perfectly fine. If you pick up a few Japanese words, it does not make you a weeaboo. But where you do get to weeaboo territory is when you start using Japanese words constantly. Like if you start replacing words like cute for kawaii, stuff like that. So you mid-sentence, and instead of saying English words, and every now and then you're using Japanese words, or times you're using full Japanese sentences. And that's going along with the whole dissociation with anything from your original culture. They dissociate themselves from anything not Japan related. Yeah, like they misuse what they pick up through anime, and at times, because of how animes are done, it's not proper Japanese and you can mispronounce and all of that. They then get so confident with their speaking skills that they can at times also try their written skills, and they seem to do that in a bit more of a somewhat popular way of going on to Google Translate or some other form of translation tool and just typing in a complete sentence in, let's say, English, and they get the translation to what they've typed in, written in the text, and they use that to type in Japanese. Now, unfortunately, because weeaboos can mispronounce and miswrite something, those fluent in Japanese and those that Japanese is their first language can often misinterpret or not understand what the weeaboo is saying, in which I believe can lead to some very awkward conversations. On top of mispronouncing, mistype, I guess, is that they can actually go completely wrong with sentence structure as well. I know because I've done Japanese in school. Their sentence structure is different to the sentence structure for English sentences. There's a couple of things that are in different places. The order is different, and like I said, the sentence structure thing goes for both spoken and written parts of the Japanese language. Now, unfortunately for the weeaboo, this can create this effect of them being a toddler, and what I mean by that is when toddlers start trying to talk and everything, they can get very frustrated because they know what they're trying to say, but everyone else doesn't know what they're trying to say, and because of that, we don't have this understanding of what they're trying to say. They get frustrated of, no, I'm saying this, but we aren't hearing it. So that's what I mean by that. They can become a bit of a toddler because they get frustrated that the people that they're talking to don't understand the words that they're trying to say in Japanese. Now, my belief is when it comes to whether or not that this is exactly being a weeaboo or not, is that like for any anime fan, if they go to Japan, that's not to me being a weeaboo. Also, I don't see it as being a weeaboo or even a Japanophile, because you're going to a country that the spoken language is different, that you practice a couple sentences like, how much does this cost, or how much does that cost, or like, can I get a cheeseburger? Like stuff like that. To me, that's not being a weeaboo or even a Japanophile. That's just common sense. Like if you're going to a country that doesn't speak your primary language, and I know in Japan they do speak English, but Japanese is their primary language. English is a secondary language. To me, it's perfectly fine to try and learn a couple of things just to help you get around, to help make being in Japan easier, or any other country, like learn some French sentences if you're going to France. But it's the overuse of the language when they don't need to use it. That's what makes them a weeaboo. So yeah, in hindsight, weeaboos are anime fans, but they take this subconscious learning that most anime fans do of Japanese language to a more conscious level, or by going to the efforts to learn the language, but they aren't necessarily going about it the correct way, and then they use the language too much because that's what they are exposing themselves to. They're exposing themselves to subbed anime, so Japanese audio, where all that they're hearing is Japanese. But yeah, to me, you're not a weeaboo if you've just picked up a couple of words. Like, if you don't use them, you're definitely not a weeaboo, but if you've picked up a couple of words and you understand what they mean, you're not a weeaboo. It's when you start using the words more and more and more often, and if you end up using them each and every day, well, hate to break it to you, but you probably are a weeaboo. But other than that, a weeaboo is just another anime fan. They've probably got anime merchandise. They probably also have some Japanese cultural stuff, like a Japanophile. Well, Japanophile is, well, someone that is extremely interested in Japan, just like a weeaboo is, but a weeaboo is also interested in anime. The Japanophile isn't necessarily interested in anime as they are in Japan itself, while a weeaboo is interested in Japan through anime at first, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I have for you for this video. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. Like, do you think that there's other things that make someone a weeaboo other than the language thing? To me, the language thing is the only thing that makes them a weeaboo. Well, at least off the top of my head, that's all that it takes. Just because of that effort they go to me, every other aspect of a weeaboo is just your average person, or average anime fan, I should say, being an anime fan. It's just interest in the Japanese culture and the language and everything that they take quite out of proportion is what makes them a weeaboo, at least in my opinion. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like or comment down in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos by me, or check out my channel, you might find another video too that you like the look of. Or consider subscribing to me. It'd be a great help to me, and you get to stay up to date when I upload more videos. Again, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time in the next video. See ya.